Hello everybody, and welcome back to another edition of JTISREBORN Movie Reviews. It has been quite a long time since I've done a written review on the channel, but I feel like now is a good time to get back into it. So, for today's video, I wanted to begin a journey through the DC animated movie universe, reviewing all the films leading up to the release of Justice League Dark Apokolips War. The DC animated universe is a shared continuity of films and comics that began in 2014 with the film Justice League War.
Actually, it's the DC Animated Movie Universe. I realized upon editing this video that I completely fucked it up. I called it the DC Animated Universe, which is incorrect. That's the universe that began in 1992 with Batman the Animated Series and ran all the way through Justice League Unlimited. This is the DC Animated Movie Universe. DCAMU, not DCAU. Two completely different things that everybody gets confused. And even I sometimes fuck up by confusing them. But yes, this is the DCAMU. Anyways, back to the rest of my original recording before I fucked it all up. Okay, let's go from here. Bye-bye.
Back to action!
Although some argue that the universe began with Justice League the Flashpoint Paradox, however, there are a few inconsistencies with that movie that don't line up with the rest of the universe per se. Although plot points from Flashpoint Paradox do carry over into some of the other films within this universe. The films within this universe consist of Justice League War, Son of Batman,
Justice League Dawn of Atlantis, Batman vs. Robin,
and Wonder Woman Bloodlines. Now, aside from that, there do exist two offshoots of the universe. First, we have Constantine City of Demons, which was a two-part animated web series which was edited together to make a movie. Now, this pretty much has nothing tied into the other films. One of the producers was just like, or writers was just kind of like, okay, it's set in the DCAMU, so I guess it's part of the continuity. But it really ties into nothing else other than it's Matt Ryan back as Constantine. And then lastly, we have Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans. Now, in this movie, the DCAMU Titans make a cameo within this film. Although this film forgot to mention that in the DC animated movie universe, Cyborg is not on the Titans. He is on the Justice League. Damian Wayne and Blue Beetle are on the Titans in this universe, which to me was kind of a missed opportunity. I was excited when they were going through the different universes, but when they didn't show Damian and Blue Beetle, I think it was kind of a missed opportunity because can you imagine Damian Wayne giving shit to the Teen Titans Go characters? I think that's kind of a missed opportunity. I think that would have been kind of funny, but we didn't get it, but it was still nice to get a DCAMU Titans cameo, although they could have done better with it. But anyways, enough talking about that stuff. Let's talk about the topic that's the main focus for today, which is Justice League War. So let's dive in. Directed by Jay Oliva, whose other DC work includes directing The Dark Knight Returns as well as The Flashpoint Paradox, the plot of Justice League War centers around the Justice League coming together for the first time in order to stop Darkseid and his army of parademons. The roster this time around includes Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, The Flash, Cyborg, and Shazam! The voice cast for Justice League War does a solid job for the most part, but it's Justin Clark as Hal Jordan who steals the show. He is hands down the best part of this entire movie, and it baffles me to this day why he wasn't brought back to voice the character in further DC properties. I mean, he's so good in this movie. I mean, he calls Batman a phenomenal douchebag. What's not to love? As the movie begins, we see Hal Jordan and Batman going after a parademon who is in possession of a mother box. After examining the mother box, they determine that it has an alien origin and decide to go find Superman and ask him about it. After a quick fight scene where Green Lantern gets his ass beat, the three of them decide to work together. Turns out that the mother boxes are being used as a means for Darkseid and his army to invade Earth with plans to terraform the planet. The plot of this movie is kind of thin and pretty straightforward. Bad guy comes to Earth to take over for reasons which are never explained in the movie, and the heroes must unite together to stop him. There really isn't much else to it. In fact, the only character who has a meaningful arc in the film is probably just Cyborg. There's a lot going on in this movie in a short amount of time. If you're someone who doesn't know too much about who the Justice League is, then this may seem a bit overwhelming to you. There are a lot of characters, and there's quite a bit crammed into this movie's short 79-minute runtime. You have to establish the 7 members of the Justice League, including an origin story for Cyborg, as well as include Darkseid in there as the main villain, and unfortunately, not everything lands. Even though I enjoyed this movie a lot when I first saw it, there was one big complaint I had, and that was Darkseid. Now, I love Darkseid as a villain, but in here he's just kind of a big generic monster that the heroes must fight. Think Steppenwolf in the Justice League movie. There's just not much substance to him, and on top of that, I really don't like the voice for him. It sounds way too artificial and doesn't come across as real and imposing. If you want to see Darkseid done better in animation, then you should watch Superman the Animated Series. Michael Ironside was absolutely fantastic as Darkseid in the role. Plus, that show really did a great job nailing his character. Other weak points in the movie for me include the humor not necessarily landing so well. I don't really like the way that all the characters are written in this film. And I feel like that by the end of the movie, the character that kind of gets it the worst out of the Justice League is probably Wonder Woman. The scenes showing her as the fish out of water with the warrior spirit kind of fall flat with me. Sure, there are a couple of moments that can be kind of funny, but most of the moments where the movie wants you to laugh are more than likely to make you groan and elicit the humorous response that the film intended. On top of that, there are a lot of heroes in this movie, and not everybody gets their chance to shine. Flash in particular feels the most sidelined and isn't really given much to do in this movie. Now, despite there being some negatives, there are definitely some good things in this movie. Like most of Jay Oliva's other films, the action scenes are quite good, and they really do a good job showcasing the League and their various fighting styles. It is fun watching the Justice League work together to kick the crap out of Darkseid, and I do appreciate how in the final act it involves the entire League working together in unison, showcasing their different abilities in order to stop Darkseid. It's a fun little final battle, and at the end of the film, the League gains the trust of the public and end up being honored at the White House. On top of that, there is also a post-credit scene involving Ocean Master that sets up the events of Justice League Throne of Atlantis, and after that, the movie is pretty much wrapped up. Now, when I first saw Justice League War a few years ago, I really did enjoy it, and I felt like it helped to rejuvenate my love for DC Comics. It was instrumental in getting me to start watching DC animation again, and it made me want to go back and read a lot of the comic book stuff. Watching this movie now, I don't think it's as good as when I first saw it all those years ago. Don't get me wrong, I don't think the movie is bad. I would say that I'm more mixed to positive on it. The plot is a little thin, and while I think the action is pretty good, it can get tiresome after a while if the story around it isn't the most engaging. Still, it was nice to see the Justice League working together, and I did get some entertainment value out of it. The best things about this movie is Green Lantern and the fact that it helped spawn a new continuity that was worth following. If you get the chance to, I'd say check this one out. There's some entertainment value to be had. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this review on Justice League War. I hope you all enjoyed it. It was kind of fun and interesting going back and looking at this movie after I haven't in quite some time. It's interesting to see how far the DC animated films have changed since this movie came out. Now, initially when this universe began, it took a lot of inspiration and was heavily influenced and based around the New 52. But as the universe went on, they started pulling things from pre-New 52 and then kind of molded it together to create some unique hybrid universe. Not everything landed, but there's definitely some good to be had within this universe. And yeah, that's all I gotta say for Justice League War this week. Be sure to come back next time as we continue our journey through the DC animated movie universe with a review of Son of Batman. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. And as always, thank you all so much for watching this. Take care now, bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.